Hello, welcome to Papa Nick's Music. I am, as always, your host, Papa Nick Lewis, and today the summer of the Bee Gees has come to its fruition. Quite some time ago, I started the summer of the Bee Gees. I posted a video in which I talked about how when I'm looking for new music to add to my library, one of the things I like to do is go back and find artists that I'm a greatest hits fan of. And if I like their greatest hits, well, maybe I'll like the rest of it too, so I start exploring their catalog. Sometimes this works. This is how I came to be a fan of, say, John Mellencamp, who got on that train very late. Sometimes it doesn't. I tried this a couple of years ago with ABBA, and yeah, I'm a greatest hits fan when it comes to ABBA. But it's always interesting, and I enjoy doing it. So this summer I'm doing it with the Bee Gees. So quite some time ago, I have no idea how long ago it actually was. I'm time blind. But quite some time ago, I gave you my top 10, top 40 charting Bee Gees singles, and this was square one. This is my starting place. This is the Bee Gees as I think of them before I started this process. And then over the past month, I've done a couple of updates. Where I've, in one update, I talked about my general reaction to what I now think of as the orchestral pop ballad phase of their career. And then in my second update, I took it from the R&B dance music peak of the 70s up through their last album from 2001. This is where I came in. And I gave you some of my reactions to those albums. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through my top 10 plus 10 album tracks. I'm doing top 10 plus 10 because I couldn't get it down to 10. And so, the whole point of this is for me to talk about this wonderful new music I found. So, fuck it. I'm doing a top 20. I'm also focusing on album tracks, although I'm cheating a little bit. There are several of these songs that were actually released as singles. I was just unaware of them. If for all of these songs, all 20 of these songs, the first time I heard these songs was as part of this process of getting to know the Bee Gees over the past however long I've been doing this. Several of these songs, like I said, were released as singles, but I was blissfully unaware of them. I never heard them on the radio, never heard them before. That being said, I'm starting my list with a cluster of these that were released as singles because I don't remember ever hearing them as singles, but maybe I have, and maybe that's part of the reason why I like them, right? So I'm going to give you my top 20, mostly album tracks of the Bee Gees. Before I get into my top 20, this is technically a top 10 video, which means it is unofficially sponsored by Schoefferhofer Beer. Schoefferhofer Beer. If you like grapefruit beer, oh my God. That's good beer. Also, the Subjectivity Notice. Got to do the Subjectivity Notice. Artistic appreciation is, by definition, a subjective, individual response. There is no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad art. There is only art that I like and art that I do not like. And as long as we keep that in mind, we are careful to use words like and dislike, prefer, don't prefer, agree and disagree. As long as we use words like that, this conversation is fun, it's entertaining, it's instructive. It is it's one of the best ways I know to build empathy, for example, and God knows we could all use a little bit more empathy in our lives. Not to get too philosophical here. It's wonderful, sunshine, rainbows, happiness, glitter, everything joyous and fantastic. Up to the point where somebody starts thinking in terms of right and wrong, and oh no, this song is just objectively better than the rest. Hell, screw you. No, it's not. There's no such thing as objective relative quality. The important word in there is relative. It is all relative. It's all relative to your own perspective. It's all relative to your own knowledge, your own tastes. So let's just remember, this is all a matter of opinion. It's a fun conversation. I'm not trying to make the case that these are the best 20 songs that the Bee Gees released over the course of their career, so don't even go there. These are just the 20 that I really like. These are the 20 best reasons I can give you for why I feel like my Summer of the Bee Gees has been a valid investment of my time. Okay? Okay. Now, let's kick off with this top 10 plus 10. Coming in at number 20. Like I said, I'm grouping some songs here at the beginning. Numbers 20 through 16 were all released as A-sides. I don't think I ever heard them as singles, but it's entirely possible I did because, I was listening to the radio during that time frame. So subliminally, I may have heard it and I may have picked up on it, and I may now be, when I look back at it, I may now be thinking, and I may be listening with my memory as well as with my ears. There's one of these that I'm confident that is not the case, but yeah. I went ahead and clumped them all here in the 20 to 16 bracket. I wanted to include them. I wanted to laud these 5 songs, but I don't want A-sides creeping up higher in the list. That being said, there will be an A-side that creeps up much higher in the list. I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. Coming in at number 20 is one of the two singles that was released off of the 1974 album Mr. Natural, an album that I really, really like. And that is Charade. Charade is just a wonderful, lovely, soft ballad. My note is that it's lounge music in a good way. Lounge music is not a criticism from me. I like lounge music, well done lounge music. And I really like Charade. That's a good song. Coming in at number 19, this is, of the A-sides, the one I'm most confident that I had never heard of before. And it is the one song, let me double check and make sure. Yes, it is the one song on my list of 20. No, I've got 2 songs. Oh, it is one of 2 songs on my list of 20 that came from what in my last video I referred to as the sputtering years. The years from 1981 to 2001. From 1981's Living Eyes to 2001's This Is Where I Came In. For the most part, these albums are not, touching my heart. They're not touching my soul. Most of them will have at least one song that I really like. Some of them have 2 or 3 songs that I really like. But overall, the albums, I think, are a little bit lacking, mostly because I'm not the intended audience of these albums. But there are some good songs on here, and a couple of them were released as singles. Number 19 is This Is Where I Came In, the title track from the 2001 album, This Is Where I Came In. It's got a wonderful guitar intro to it. As soon as I hear that bluesy guitar intro, I think to myself, well, thank God. We've gotten out of the electronic dance music era. Now we're getting back to more music. There's no way for me to say that. That's not going to piss somebody off, so I'll just go ahead and piss people off. And I really like that song. This Is Where I Came In, number 19. Number 18 is the other song from the Sputtering Years. I don't believe I ever heard this. It was released on the ESP album from 1987, and it is, of course, You Win Again. I don't think I'd ever heard it before I started doing this research, but, I might have. By 1987, I had stopped listening to Top 40 radio, and this song was not particularly popular in the United States anyway, but you never know. The stomp introduction is a little on the cheesy side, I have to admit, but the song itself is catchy as hell. I like You Win Again. It's a nifty little song. Number 18 on my top 10 plus 10. Okay, coming in at number 17, I've got the other single from Mr. Natural, and that is the title track, Mr. Natural. One of the few songs on here that is a Robin lead Even with my note, even with Robin singing, I like this song. I can like songs that Robin sings. But I love Mr. Natural. Oh, it's just a nifty little song. Number 17, Mr. Natural. Okay, number 16, the last of my A-sides. A song that, as with the others, I am 99.9% certain I had never heard of before I started doing this project. But it was released as an A-side, so maybe I did. I don't know. Who knows? But it is one of the songs off of 1970's Cucumber Castle, which is a nifty little album. And it is the single off of Cucumber Castle, If Only I Had My Mind on Something Else, which I think is just a wonderful little ballad. It's a song that I have since added to my playlist, my sets, my repertoire for when I'm performing live. It's a wonderful little song. The only thing about it that gives me any pause at all is that the name of the song is If Only I Had My Mind on Something Else. But Barry very clearly sings in every chorus, If I Only Had My Mind on Something Else, which is so much easier to say. And it's like, yeah, dude, change the title of the song. But apart from that, oh, it's just a wonderful little ballad. Oh, I love If Only I Had My Mind on Something Else from Cucumber Castle, 1970. Okay, from here on, we've got album tracks. We have a few B-sides. B-sides don't count. You can be a B-side and still, labor in obscurity. With one exception that will come up, all of these are straightforward album tracks from here on out. Coming in at number 15. I had to remind myself what number I'm on. There we go. Coming in at number 15. From 1976's Children of the World, I've got Can't Keep a Good Man Down, which is just a wonderful R&B song. I'm not going to use the 5-letter D word. We're going to talk about R&B. We're going to talk about soul. We're going to talk about dance music. We are not going to use the epithet, even though I don't see anything wrong with music that has that label. We're just bypassing that entire conversation. This is just a good, solid R&B song. Before the vocal, the note I've got, before the vocals kick in, you could imagine this being a song by, say, the Ohio Players or some similar act. It's just a really good, solid R&B song. I love Can't Keep a Good Man Down. Coming in at number 14, another song off of Mr. Natural. Mr. Natural is a surprisingly good album from 1974. And that song is Down the Road. Very nice R&B groove on this song with some fantastic bass work. Pretty sure it's Maurice, Jesus. Pretty sure it's Morris playing that bass. But I love it. I love Down the Road from Mr. Natural. Talking about Morris, number 13 is a Morris song, and that is the title track from the 1971 album Trafalgar. I like the song Trafalgar. That's a really good song. My note is, Mo writes very good music, but not much lyrically. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the lyrics on most of these songs. I'm just listening to the music. And Trafalgar is just a nice little song. Really like it. Number 13. Coming in at number 12, off of the 1972 album To Whom It May Concern. To Whom It May Concern and Mr. Natural were probably the two biggest surprises in terms of, albums I had never heard of, and now they're top of the charts as far as I'm concerned. But one of the songs off of To Whom It May Concern, a good solid rocker, is Bad Bad Dreams. I like this song. The Bee Gees didn't do a whole lot of just straight out rock music, but when they did, they nailed it. They could very easily have spent their career as just straight ahead balls out rockers. They preferred orchestral pop, so that's what they did. But when they wanted to rock, they could. Bad Bad Dreams is a good example of that. Coming in at number 11, another song off Mr. Natural. And that is Heavy Breathing. Heavy Breathing is a nice, everything I said, 4 songs ago about Down the Road applies to Heavy Breathing as well. It's just a good solid R&B groove. The one thing that's different is we've got some wah guitars added in here to give it that really cool 1974 ooka-chicka wacka-chicka kind of sound to it, which I really like. This song was released as a B-side. It was the B-side to Charade, but that doesn't count. It's still an album track. Okay, we're up to our top 10. We're up to my top 10. Coming in at number 10, another good solid rocker. This one off of 1970's 2 Years On album, and that is Back Home. Good solid rocker here. I love Back Home. It's a great song. My number 9 song is also from 1970, but not from 2 Years On. It's one of the other songs off of the other album that they released in 1970, Cucumber Castle. We've already had If Only I Had My Mind on Something Else from Cucumber Castle. Now we've got My Thing. This is a very good Morris song. My note is it's a Morris song that reminds me of Brian Wilson. A lot of Morris's songs remind me of Brian Wilson. They've got a nice, perfectly serviceable, lovely little melody. In this one, it's a nice, airy. It sounds almost like something off of Friends. Busy doing nothing. It's got that kind of sound to it, not that rhythm, but it's got that kind of airy feeling to it. With just, goofy ass lyrics. Bowsy, bow wowsy. Jesus. But My Thing, I like this song. I just don't pay a whole lot of attention to the words. Number 9, My Thing. Coming in at number 8, off of Children of the World, we've got another up-tempo R&B song. Earlier I was talking about Heavy Breathing, and I said that it just screamed 1970. Well, this one screams 1976. And that is from Children of the World, Subway. This is a really good song. This is a really good R&B dance song. Quite the toe tapper. Coming in at number 7. Okay, let's go back. We've been doing some rockers. We've been doing some funky R&B songs. Well, let's go back to 60s pop. Let's go back to 60s jangly rock kind of pop. Let's go back to Bee Gees' First from 1967. My number 7 song, In My Own Time. Not counting the singles, hands down best song on the album. I love In My Own Time. Just a good solid 60s rocker. Coming in at number 6, another song off of To Whom It May Concern from 1972. This is another Morris song. A lot of Morris songs on my top 20 because I really like Morris. The song is You Know It's For You, which is just a good mid-tempo love song. Morris is playing just about everything. He's playing the guitars, he's playing the keyboards, he's playing the bass, he's playing the mellotron, he's probably in the background, slapping his belly and blowing a jug. He's doing everything on this except the drums. He's not playing drums, but I'm pretty sure that he's making every other noise. And it's a nice little song. You Know It's For You. Good song. Coming in at number 5 from 1975's Main Course, we have All This Making Love. All This Making Love is just a weird, quirky little song. It almost seems like it's about to start and then it just starts right back up. Wait, are we going to repeat anything from that chorus? No, we're going to go right into the next verse. It's just got a weird, quirky sound to it that I really like. It has a very understated guitar solo, and I think because it is so understated, it is extremely effective. It's just all around a wonderful song from Main Course, All This Making Love. Coming in at number 4, one of 2 songs from 1968's Idea. This time we've got, it was released as a B-side. It was the B-side to the hit single, I've Got to Get a Message to You, and that is Kitty Can. I really like Kitty Can. It's a light tune. It's bouncy. It's fun. And one of the things I will be honest enough to admit, one of the things I like about it is that Morris's voice is a little bit more distinct in the vocal mix. I can always hear Morris. Now that I know what I'm listening for, I can hear him. He's usually taking the top end. Sometimes he's taking the bottom. It's amazing that he does both ends of the spectrum. But this is one of the few where he stands out. I don't have to look for him. He's not front and center, but he stands out in this one. It's one of the reasons I like it. But overall, it's just a nice, fun, bouncy song. I really like Kitty Can. Coming in at number 3, from 1970's 2 Years On, another song from 2 Years On, just a good, solid rocker with a really nice groove, and that is Every Second, Every Minute. I love that song. Every second, every minute, every hour, every year. Oh, I love that song. Okay, we're up to my top 2. Brought to you unofficially by Schoferhofer Beer. That's good beer. Here's the reason why I've hesitated here. I like all of these songs. All of these songs are you know, if you ask me, should I be a fan of the Bee Gees? You know, now that you've listened to this, Nick, what do you think? Should I be a fan of the Bee Gees? I will say yes, and I will give you all 18 of these songs that I've listed so far. Just pick one. They're great. You're going to love this stuff. I really like this stuff. But these top 2 songs are in a higher class, a better class. These 2 songs are, for reasons that I don't think I could explain if I had the time and inclination. I'm sure I've got the time, but I don't really have the inclination because I know I can't do it. I don't think I could ever explain why I love these 2 songs as much as I do. Every once in a while, this just happens. I'm listening to music and I find a song that I love this song. I love everything about this song. I love the chord progression. I love the melody. I love this song. Right? This doesn't happen all the time. I mean, I like most music, but the music that I think of as, I love that song, that's fairly rare. And I got 2 of them here. My notes for these are, I love this song, and that's all. That's all I can say about them. They were both released as B-sides. Number 2 on my top 10 plus 10, from 1968's Idea, the B-side to I Started a Joke, which has never been one of my favorite Bee Gees songs. I don't hate it, but But I will be goddamned if Kilburn Towers is not one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God, do I love this song. Kilburn Towers is excellent. If you need a reason to buy the album Idea, Kilburn Towers would be the reason I would give you. That song is why you need to buy this album. I love Kilburn Towers. Kilburn Towers is now in my repertoire for when I'm performing. I love Kilburn Towers. But my number 1 song that I love, that is now in my repertoire for when I'm performing live, that if I wanted to give you just one reason for buying this album, it would be to get this song. This is the other song that was released as an A-side. It was originally released as a B-side. It was the B-side to Nights on Broadway. From 1975's album Main Course, we've got the song Edge of the Universe. Edge of the Universe was released as the B-side to Nights on Broadway. And then the following year, maybe 2 years, the Bee Gees released their live album, Here at Last, the Bee Gees Live. Edge of the Universe was released as a single off of that live album. It is entirely possible I heard that. The timing would be right. I was still listening to Top 40 radio, and it was a decent hit. I don't remember ever having heard this song before I listened to Main Idea. Before I listened to Main Course as I was getting into this Bee Gees project. I don't recall ever hearing it before. I may have heard it, but I'll tell you right now, I don't give a damn. It is a fantastic song. And if I heard it when it was on the radio before, that does not alter the fact that it is, out of all of these songs that I have come to know as I've gone through this process, far and away, hands down, my favorite. Edge of the Universe, and Kilburn Towers are, as far as I'm concerned, enough for me to say, yeah, I'm a fan of the Bee Gees now. I really like this stuff. This is good music. So that's my top 20 plus 20, my top 20 album tracks with a few lesser-known singles thrown in just because what the hell, why not? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there songs you think should have been put on here? Songs that I've got on here that you don't think should have been on here? Drop a comment down below. Tell me about it. I love having this conversation. Just remember, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's all a matter of taste. Thank you very much for sticking it out this long. If you enjoyed the video, and I assume that you did since you're sticking it out this long, I'd appreciate it if you'd click the like button. And while you're clicking, go ahead and click the subscribe if you have not already done so. Click that little bell icon for notifications. It makes a difference to the YouTube folks. So, okay, what the hell? I'll ask you to do it. I don't care. I appreciate it. Thanks again, and I hope that the rest of your day is glorious. See you soon.